Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm doing this a little bit late, it's because of this. What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today we are going to talk transformations. Yes, and first, I'm not going to go only just over the stuff that has been leaked / data mined or anything like that. I just want to kind of talk about transformations in general and kind of compare the three different ones that we have at the current moment of this game. So without further ado, real quick before we actually get into it real quick, the reason I am doing this so late is because we were having a bunch of typhoon news, and the typhoon hit us over here in Japan the other day, and I was just like, I didn't even see this, and then I was streaming the EZA Piccolo event free to play, and I was just like, wait, there's a what? And everyone's just like, yeah, did you hear about this? I was like, no, my news feed is filled with typhoon news, not data mine news and everything like that. So I was like, all right, you know what? I do want to cover it, but I also want to talk about transformations and the three types, and just not really like what's the best and what's the worst, but more of just, you know, like my honest opinions on it and everything like that. So without further ado, let's get into it. So if you guys obviously, I guess if you haven't been playing the game at all, Dokkan has officially started bringing in new different types of transformations, technically ever since year 3, I guess. But, you know, they've obviously been changing it up here and there about how they do it and everything. And the first ones were through the LR Goku, or Vegito and Gogeta. Now, these guys had a really powerful transformation, and to the moment of this game right now, it is the most powerful transformation in the entire game. I guess we'll have to see what LR, Frieza, and Goku do. We don't even know if they have a transformation or anything like that. I don't think they do, but you never know. They could add it. But anyway, so most powerful transformations in the game. However, the only way to get them, though, is to go 6 turns and then have your HP 50% or below. And with the teams that you would run them on, at least, especially if you're using on their categories, getting below that HP is not easy at all. Even on Super Battle Road, it can save you sometimes, but either you are too powerful to not ever activate and you get past the 6th turn, or you're not below that 50% threshold with the health, or you're not able to survive that long. So I do know that it does happen sometimes in Super Battle Road, but a lot of us kind of wish that it was either like a 4 turn and 50% health, or maybe if it was just 4 turns or something like that. You know, I understand their LRs are super powerful and everything like that, but I think generally when you talk to most people, they would say, I wish it wasn't 6 and 50%, like make it 4 and 50% or something like that, and that would be totally okay. And I have to admit, I'd actually kind of be okay with that. You wouldn't be able to trounce and bring them out in terms of the easy events, but you know what, something like Super Battle Road, a little bit more consecutively, and just, you know, other ways of other events that you might be going into, you'll be able to bring them out a little bit more frequently. So next, in terms of transformations, though, is going to be the guys of like UI Goku, the SSB evolution of Vegeta, let's see, Turles, and I guess Android 21, technically she is one of those 4-turn guys. But anyway, so these transformations are kind of like I'm using quotations here, downgrade from the LR Vegito in terms of the fact that it doesn't take as much to get them awakened or to transform them, essentially. The UI Goku, as long as you have 50% below in your HP, he will transform. And this works great for Super Battle Road sometimes, because you can literally go into you can go into the next battle or the next stage after you finish one section of it, and if you are 50% or below and UI Goku shows around on your next turn, boom, you're all good to go. So that's pretty nice right there. Let's see, SSBE Vegeta, you have to go 4 turns and you get like a 30% chance to transform, which personally for me, 30% chance doesn't sound like much, but he transforms quite a bit for me. Generally, I've gotten him to transform almost every single time I've ever used him in a match, so that's actually pretty nice. Turles seems to be the one that most people don't like in terms of the transformation, which thankfully, though, he well makes up for it in the fact that he is the best support unit right now in the entire game, so no one wants him to transform, but he has to be like 80% below his HP, or 80% or below on the HP, and then you only get like a 25% chance to transform, and it's only for 3 turns, whereas the other ones will transform and stay transformed for the entire round, until you finish the battle. But Turles, if you go past the 3 turns after he transforms, then he goes back to support, which I guess technically most people would like, because again, we want him to be transformed and everything like that, so, or we don't want him to be transformed. And then Android 21, your health has to be, I'm going off the top of my head here because I haven't used her in a while, HP 50% or above, and then she has a 25% chance to absorb Cell, which then she goes into her transformed state. So those right there seem to be, you know, kind of, again, a lower downgrade of the LRs in terms of just how you activate them. And then obviously they're still super powerful and everything like that. And now we are getting these new transformations where it is Goku and Frieza, where every single turn that the character comes back, they will transform. So when Goku starts as Super Saiyan, the next turn he comes back, which is technically the third turn, he will go to Super Saiyan 2, and then Super Saiyan 3, God, and then all the way to Blue. So by turn 9, finally, you can get him to his Super Saiyan Blue state. And I'm not going to lie, the only stage I can consecutively do that and actually get that constantly going is on UI Goku's stage. Even on Super Battle Road, I don't have to deal with that. Now, again, I know, you know, some pretty powerful cards in my deck compared to maybe the average player or a lot of players sometimes. But, you know, I also have seen a lot of people who don't have as stacked a decks as I do, and they'll go into Super Battle Road with the Goku, and they're like, oh, I get him up to maybe God at the most. Frieza, man, Frieza barely transforms me at all. I get him up as level 2, level 3, stage 3, and then that's it. And it's like, oh, well, that stinks. And it really sucks because God in Blue and Fourth Form and Golden Form are great cards. They are really powerful and really amazing. But it sucks. I'm always trying to get them up like that. So anyway, so that is the third transformation mechanic that has been introduced into the game so far. Now I know some people are getting tired of the transformation mechanics. I personally like it. It keeps the game going. It kind of mixes it up sometimes. You never know if they're going to activate or not. And they can definitely come in clutch sometimes. Heck, there are even times where I forget about the transformation mechanic. It's like, oh, hey, you're transforming. I actually like that. So I personally still like it. I know some people are getting tired of it. But with all that said and done now, we officially have gotten a data mine courtesy of the French trio. And I believe it was posted by Dokkan Tuber. I'll have a link down to his Twitter. And you should see a quick picture of it right now on your screen. And apparently they data mined what we're getting after the LR Goku and Frieza. We haven't even gotten a data download or official announcement of the LR Goku and Frieza, which I'm assuming will probably be next week. Because the 10-day, 3 multis, free one with the Goku and the Frieza banners right now, those go away on Tuesday next week at the time of this recording. And then that means that we'll probably get a data download on Thursday, and then that's maybe when the LR banner comes out, because the Goku and Frieza banners are around until October, or like the very, very end of September. So anyways, that's probably when we're going to get the LR, give or take. I have no idea what's on the banner or anything. But yeah, they apparently data mined the game even more, and they found what we were getting in October. And aside from the physical BUU EZA, which we had known about for a while, and all of us have covered and everything, apparently we are getting a Majin BUU transformation, or I guess technically Super BUU. And apparently he's going to have 3 transformations. He's going to start as a Super BUU. I'm assuming maybe he even might be a Fat BUU, and then when you Dokkan Awaken him, he'll be a Super BUU. Kind of like how Goku went from base form to Super Saiyan. I could be wrong though, because Frieza just went first form to first form. Hard to say. But anyway, so apparently this BUU is supposed to start as a Super BUU. Then he'll transform into Buickolo, or BUU that absorbed Piccolo. Then the next turn, or however the transformation mechanic works for him, is going to transform into BUU Tanks, or BUU absorbed Gotenks. And then the final one will be Buuhan, which will be obviously BUU absorbed Ultimate Gohan and everything like that. So he's only 3 transformations, so a total of 4 different forms right there, compared to the 5 that we have with the Goku and the Frieza right here. So it's going to be interesting to see what this guy does, because again, we don't know what the category really is that he could potentially be under, or what his leader skill will even be. I'm assuming it'll be a category. I can't really see them doing a random 200 or like 150% leader with no category to it. That's just my personal opinion, though. I have absolutely no idea. But I don't know how the card's really going to work, because BUUs, stepping away from the transformations for a second, BUUs don't have the best links. They kill it in the attack link. You know, links like Brutal Beatdown, Metamorphosis for healing and everything. They're great for that. Their key links are atrocious, though. They are absolutely atrocious. So it's going to be interesting to see what exactly this team is. I mean, some people are speculating it might be a Majin team. There are some speculating that it could be another version of the Majin BUU category, or the Majin BUU Saga category, I guess, or something like that. Or maybe it's going to be only the villains from that. You know, who knows what it's going to be. But the more I picture it is, like, especially if they do a Majin category, right? Looking at all the Majin Vegetas, then you've got, like, the Boro, which is just an int support unit, basically. You know, you got Kid BUU, the int Kid BUU, which is really good. Obviously, Buuhan he's outdated for the most. He's pretty much outdated. A lot of the other BUUs are outdated. That physical Kid BUU might actually be decent with his EZA finally. It depends on how they change him and everything like that. but it really makes me wonder what this BUU is going to do in terms of links and his, his passive and all that other fun stuff. But then his transformation mechanic is, I think it's going to be a little easier to definitely get him up to his Buuhan state. Especially if you don't have good key links, you're not going to get super attacks off, then you're definitely going to get up there pretty fast because you're not going to be finishing off the opponent as fast. But it will be interesting to compare him to the Goku and Frieza, and then comparing those guys to, like, SSB Evolution Vegeta, and then obviously comparing to the LRs and everything. Because like I said before, you got 3 different types of transformations. If I had to personally rank my favorite in terms of usability and just, just able to use them most of the time, I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to look for right now. Is I would have to go with the cards like the SSB Vegeta and the UI Goku. Then my second one would probably have to be the Goku and the Frieza, if they actually start to bring out events that can last that long. Especially with their own events themselves. I'm just like, wow, guys, wow, this is easy. You need to make it a little bit harder. I think UI Goku's difficulty, even though it can be beaten free to play, that difficulty I think is a decent, pretty good sweet spot right there, right? Like, it's not too hard, it's not too easy. Maybe bump it up just a little bit, maybe have a little bit more health or a little bit more resistance, maybe I should say. Not necessarily more health, but a little bit more resistance to certain cards. One event that I personally actually did like after finally figuring out how to do it and everything, and someone actually brought this up on Twitter, as he said, why can't we go back to the days of something like a Buuhan where you have to, you can't just power through it anymore, right? You've got to kind of wait it out until you get to the final stage of that thing, because if you remember Buuhan, he started out as Buuhan, and then he slowly, after like a few turns, every single few turns, he would then revert back or transform into a certain form of BUU, eventually getting into, I think it was Buff BUU. Yeah, I believe it was Tech Buff BUU was the final stage. And then, so it's just like, and then you were finally able to really hurt him in that. And then obviously, as the game continued to progress on, it's just like, oh, we can go to Buuhan's and beat him in like 2 hits or something like that. So, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool to start seeing something like that again and really be able to utilize these transformations a lot more, because I don't know. I mean, they seem to have dug themselves into a hole where it's like, you don't want to make the game too hard for newcomers that potentially might be coming in, but at the same time, a lot of the events and the stuff that they start bringing, especially this last year that they've been bringing to the game, is meant for people who have been playing a lot longer and potentially have more cards and better things. And it's just like, but you don't want to make it, too easy for them. So I don't know, it's a weird situation to be in, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But I don't know how I really feel about the BUU. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see what he does. I get the feeling like the first few forms of BUU are not going to be really good unless they actually do give him things like Fear and Faith, which they don't give many BUUs. They give even a few to a couple of Super BUUs, but that's about it. And then, as we know, well, luckily Kid BUU's not really part of it, but like BUU Tanks, for example, has like Over and a Flash, which no other BUU has, again, depending on what kind of links or team you're going to run him on, and also what type he is. And then, finally, Buuhan potentially gets Shocking Speed thanks to Ultimate Gohan, which can link with a decent amount of Extreme units. But again, if you're beating certain events faster and faster, and the game doesn't at least jump the difficulty or resistance again, then you're never really going to see that. And then, again, you're trying to build a team around that Shocking Speed link or that certain key link, and then it's not really working. So, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how they build this BUU character. What links will he lose, what links will he gain and lose, and back and forth and everything like that. Because, I mean, a good example is Goku. Starts to prepare for battle, gets Over in a Flash, then keeps Over in a Flash and gets Shocking Speed. So you almost have to build your team more around the Over in a Flash and Shocking Speed and not so much prepare for battle, which really stinks. So, I don't know how it's really going to work. It really poses the question. So my question to you guys is, which transformation do you prefer and why, obviously? And then what do you think is going to happen to this BUU? Do you think this BUU is going to be really good in terms of maybe getting something like Fear and Faith when he's Super BUU, and then by the time he gets the BUU tanks, he'll keep Fear and Faith, get Over in a Flash, and then he'll lose Over in a Flash when he goes to Buuhan and get Shocking Speed? How do you think that's going to work right there? Because if that particularly happened right there, we don't have to start really worrying about key links or anything like that. But, I mean, they already dug the grave with Int Kid BUU right there, not having any key links at all. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, I don't know. So, anyway, guys, that's my question to you guys. What do you think about this BUU? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I need to see what kind of team he's going to be on, what kind of leader skill he's going to have, passive, all that fun stuff. This could potentially be another skip for me. It easily could, and it's not going to be Turles again, where it's just like, oh, Turles turns out to be this really good support unit. Boo, I don't see being that case. So if you skip it, you're just like, okay, I can't run a Majin team, I guess? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It depends what his leader skill in the end is. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know your thoughts again down below in the comments as always. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you happen to be new. Like I said before, next week we're probably going to do the data download for the LR Goku and Frieza. And once we know that, we'll find out more. So anyway, guys, like I said before, thanks for stopping by. Until next time, everyone, I will see you all in the next one.